Hi, this is Nazifa from MediReach, and today we're going to be asking the public a question we've all been wondering for a very long time. Should the NHS go private? Hi Shelby, so today we've got a very important question for you. Should the NHS go private?
That's a hard question. I do have private health insurance with work, so I find it quite easy to get help quickly. I don't use the NHS very often anymore, but I don't think that it should be, like, I'm American and I do have that private system, and I think it just allows private companies to charge a lot more and like overcharge people, and I think like that's why in America big pharma has kind of taken over a little bit. I don't really want the system to go like that here, but I do think there needs to be some kind of reform. So I don't know what that looks like, but yeah.
No.
Why is that, Joma?
I am being visiting the NHS for quite some time, and I'm quite happy and quite pleased with the service that I received.
Okay.
I am a prostate cancer survivor, and it's due to the NHS.
Absolutely not. I think the state-run health system is one of the best things about this country. If you look at countries like America, where basically if you don't have health insurance, you're kind of screwed if you get any sort of serious condition. I know that's probably where the Tories want to take us, because it fits their worldview, but yeah, we should be fighting tooth and nail to protect the NHS in its current form and actually improve it, because in the last 14 years under this Tory coalition government, it's been starved of funding, and you see the waiting times now that have just spiralled out of control. But in my view, it's a deliberate plan to make the public disaffected and sort of make a privatised solution more appealing.
Should the NHS be privatized? No, but it deserves more funding.
Okay, so I believe there are a lot of things that come into question here. Is the privatization going to lead to increased prices for the patients, and are the patients willing to pay those prices? Because I heard that there are a lot of moments in which we wait for 2 to 6 months for an NHS appointment, and also the system feels extremely intricate at the moment, because you get the results from one doctor and then they are being sent to another doctor because the doctor is not able in himself to interpret the Yes, so I do believe that privatization may come with certain benefits, such as a proper and efficient system, because the current state of the NHS is horrible. Yes.
I mean, you make some very, very valid points. So I think when things go private, with the NHS going privatised, I think we're naturally looking at people having to pay more. Do you think, is that something you'd be open to? Is that something you think your friends and family would be open to?
So I know that if I have an issue, I am willing to pay for the issue to be solved. I am willing to pay for the NHS to solve my current issues. However, the NHS is not doing anything. I had to go back home in Romania, and in one day I solved everything that I had to solve, and it was one simple appointment. I've been waiting for it for 2 months with the NHS, so that's about it.
So like, if you look at some of the things that have been done under the Tories since Margaret Thatcher came to power in late 70s, you know, the likes of like the rail network, the water network's been privatised. So it's been taken out of public hands, and you know, you have in my opinion, ridiculous situation where the profits go to private shareholders, but if there's any ever a problem, or you know, serious overhaul needs to be done, the public end up paying for it through their taxes. So like, you'll see some of the rail networks basically failing to deliver a basic level of service, and then they'll end up being renationalised, and it's the taxpayers who foot the bill. So we're kind of getting the worst of both worlds, in that we don't benefit from when the franchises run well, but we end up subsidising it when, you know, it needs serious financial repair work.
I think you make a lot of valid points there. I've heard this same story from so many people saying that because they can't get appointments in this country, they go back to their home country and get an appointment and diagnostics immediately. So so when you go back home, of course you pay for it, right?
Actually, no. I did have to pay for prescriptions, but I did not have to pay for the consultation itself. So, yes.
That's fantastic. I mean, how does that work? Any idea? How do they get the money for that?
I am afraid I've been in this country for too long to remember what my Romanian healthcare system.
I mean, so you've experienced both private healthcare services as well as maybe some, you know, under the NHS. Would you say there's a major difference between the two? If so, what are they?
Yeah, I would say, so I actually like the NHS better. I think the care that I've gotten, so I had a ACL repair privately, and I was really unhappy with the service I was given.
Okay.
But
And that was under private?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I just thought he wasn't the best doctor. Like, I'm sure he works for the NHS as well, but like, I just thought I wasn't impressed with like being like we were paying for that service and it wasn't great. I had to have a second surgery and like just I think I have a lot of friends who work in the NHS and they like I feel like people who went through what I went through would have just been taken care of a little bit better and like the oversight just seemed to be large because they were getting paid and they knew that and yeah. So I'm not like I use the private system because it's faster, but I don't necessarily think that it's better.
Then Alex.
Ideally.
Yeah.
And also imagine a couple more businesses opening up, one with the focus on medicine and healthcare. That would also raise our GDP. It would create some form of employment. I believe it would be a good idea on the long term. But I do not know if with Great Britain's attitude to kind of send people back home, it's going to work.
We have multiple projects all over the country and multiple grants that we give to many different, shall we say, endeavors all over the world from just our country, whether it is for advertising, whether it's for businesses, and if you cut half of those, even the amount that we gave to businesses during furlough and put even a quarter of that into the NHS or into funding for people's health, it would do better.
Privatizing the NHS, it would alienate a lot of people from the NHS. Because, for instance, like I'm a very low-paid worker. I cannot afford to go private. So I don't think the NHS should be privatized.
Yeah.
No.
Why do you think that?
So most of my family work in the NHS, but also in terms of like my own well-being and healthcare, I've had to use it many times over the years. And quite frankly, I can't afford it. I can barely afford my dental care. I can barely afford my eye care. I can barely afford the things that I do have to pay out for. And when I'm in an emergency situation or like something's happening to me that is a natural part of being a human being who's alive and then going through life, like, what? How am I supposed to survive like that? It's not a decent way to treat a basic human being, in my opinion.
Priorities are, if you look at the actions that have been taken and you look at where the money flow has gone, priorities are clearly seen, and as much as they say the NHS is, actions show differently.
Yes,
Why do you think so?
because they are so lazy.
They're lazy. Explain
Yes.
a bit further.
To giving the appointments, we have to wait for 2 months, 3 months, even 6 months for fertility clinic. They gave my wife fertility clinic 6 months appointment in July for December. When December comes, and the first day of December, they said your NHS, your IHS fee is not eligible for fertility clinic. If it's not eligible for fertility clinic, they have to told us before when we are getting appointment.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in NHS. Nothing at all.
To look at the way that healthcare is structured. I think we need to look at the pay that is being given to the people who are working there, the balance between work and life. I think there needs to be different systems put in place. It needs to be restructured in a way that maybe is a little bit chaotic initially, but not so traditionally set, so that we can look to move into the future. We need to think differently.
That was too quick. Oh my god. So guys, what's your opinion on this? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.